You say you haven't been this excited to see a movie in a while.
This is true.
And what made Mission Possible with Tom Cruise so special that you feel this way?
I mean, I think Tom Cruise is like one of the last true action stars of our time. Most of it he does himself. It's all practical effects. And there's just something like really exciting and like viscerally entertaining about seeing something very real on screen that's not just CGI. It's like a movie that knows exactly what it is. It's just an action movie.
I feel like action movies are pure in the sense that it's like the complete polar opposite of like an art film, but then it's almost the same because like action movies are like thoughts externalized through the body without bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that.
For sure.
Yeah, like I like pure stuff. Like it doesn't matter if it's like action film or like Tree of Life is like it's pure. That's why I liked it. Tree of Life. But the same with Tree of Life is like the form and the content, like we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
It's deep, but it's not deep. It's deep in the sense that the form and the content are the same. Like form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So in that sense, that movie represent that insight like 100%. That's where Tree of Life was like really connected with me. You know what I mean? And I feel like action movies like Mission Impossible is kind of like that. Like the form and content are the same. Like you know what I mean? There's no duality almost. It's like non-dual. For
sure. So you're saying there's no like layer underneath it. Like what you see is exactly what you get.
Yes, exactly. And that's reality. There's no the way I look at reality now is like there's no substance behind appearance. It's only appearance. The entire reality, there's only one substance, namely consciousness. There's nothing behind it because anything behind, what if you presuppose it's behind something? Let's say you have a movie and you write a bunch of text. Oh, that's deep, right? You analyze, but that's just another content. Like that's just the same substance. Okay, so what I like about Tom Cruise is that he's kind of selfless, right? Like he goes all out.
Yeah.
He gets injured. Like he could die during filming his movies.
Yeah.
But I can tell he's thinking about how the best way to entertain. He goes like 100% to entertain his audience. And if Scientology, I saw the movie Scientology, Going Clear.
Yeah.
I saw that movie and I feel like that's a really good metaphor for like just about everything. It's just Scientology is a program, and even if you're not a Scientologist, you have a program inside you, unless you're like fully enlightened. So like everybody is like a Scientologist in a sense, like metaphorically, right? So that's just a really good metaphor for like how the mind is structured. And if Scientology is all there is, Tom Cruise is like an enlightened master, because he's like 100% like within the Scientology, and he's like embedded in that shit. But it, like the similarity between like say a Buddha and a Tom Cruise is like Buddha is like imagine Scientology as big as the entire cosmos into infinity. That's Buddha, right? Buddha broke through the matrix, or like he's like the master of that matrix, of infinity, of no matrix. But Tom Cruise is like the master within the Scientology matrix. So within that relative standpoint or paradigm, Tom Cruise is the enlightened master.
Do you agree, Elena?
I like actors a lot because like I feel like actors sort of like have to be blank slates, like the actor's consciousness, because they have to reset every movie, right? So they can't have a fixed identity too much, or else they can't switch on and off between characters. So like think if you read the interviews or like watch the interviews on a lot of actors, they don't have a lot of them, like a lot of stuff in there, and I think that's what gives them strength as an actor. You know, the sort of this pure consciousness, like without content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then like Ethan Hunt, like you said, it's kind of like a blank slate. Every mission, like he gets the mission, he gets to blow the whatever, like what's that device that every Mission Impossible movie has a device that gives Ethan Hunt like the mission and it explodes.
Yeah.
It implodes from the inside.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
That's kind of like a metaphor for like what you have to do as an actor.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have to destroy yourself in every movie and then build it again in the next movie. And then like that's Ethan Hunt, and that's also Tom Cruise. So like you got these two blank slates that self-destruct each time they intersect, and I think that's kind of trippy. You know what I mean? It's
For
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's like it's like a double blank slate, but it's not really double because if both are blank slate, there's no double. It's just one.
Yeah. I mean, basically at the beginning of each movie, he's starting from scratch again.
Yeah, he always from scratch.
Yeah, you have to. It doesn't matter if you're a sequel. You have to set up the goals, the stakes for this like new world, his new state of mind. It's still a new film, so completely blank for sure. It's cool.
Cool.
It's pretty dope.
I'm excited now, man.
You're in the midst of some
This is some
intense Mission Impossible fans, and she has no idea.
So you said today you read an article on.
I saw a video.
Okay, we'll link the video in the description box because I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's by Patrick Willems. He's like a popular YouTube video essayist, and he was saying there's like a debate of like, okay, who the main character is. His name is Ethan Hunt, right? And a lot of people think he doesn't have character because in every movie it kind of resets. It's almost like a totally different world, and he just changes. Like in the first movie, he gets betrayed by a bunch of people, but he doesn't really have attachments.
He doesn't have identity.
He doesn't really have an
so
identity.
he's enlightened. He's an enlightened being.
It could be
kind of like he's like an avatar, right?
You can see it like that.
Yeah.
But in the third movie, he does have a family. The whole movie starts off with him having a wife and him trying to protect her. So it's like this character is very different from the first movie. And then basically, if you look at all the movies individually, it just seems like a different person. But what Patrick Williams was saying, which I thought was super cool, was that if you look at Tom Cruise's life, in the first movie, he's like this relentless, really cool spy, and like he's just like getting into his groove. And that's like Tom Cruise about to break out. And then in the second film, directed by John Woo, I think, Tom Cruise is like basically a superhero. In that movie, it's like slow motion. He's
like a martial artist almost.
He's a martial artist. That's Tom Cruise at the top of his game. Like
physically, right?
Physically, and like his career was going awesome. And then in the third movie, when he finds the love of his life, that's also when he was with Katie Holmes.
That's my favorite one because it has more emotions in it.
Yeah, it has a heart.
Yeah.
And that's directed by J.J. Abrams.
But didn't you say the reason why you were attracted to this type of movie was because it had less emotion?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah. There's 6 of them, so that was the only one.
That's the fourth one.
So
in
4,
Dubai.
5, and 6, he's just getting progressively trying to one-up himself. And again, that character in Mission Impossible is mirroring Tom Cruise's life. Like at this point, like in this movie, at his like he's like 58 now. He's gonna be 60 soon. He's still doing this insane shit. So the character of Ethan Hunt clearly just doesn't value his life. He's willing to do anything at all costs to complete the mission. Just like Tom Cruise is willing to do anything at any cost to make the best movie possible. And I think that's just such a cool interpretation, and that gives Ethan Hunt some kind of continuity throughout all the movies. I read another article that they were almost about to give the franchise away to another actor at one point.
No way.
After the third
I don't think anyone should make Mission Impossible without Tom Cruise.
Exactly. So the fourth movie was to prove to the studios, like, hey, I'm not too fucking old. Like, I can still do this. And after Mission Impossible 4, nobody ever, like, spoke of that again. Nobody ever considered, like, we could make a Mission Impossible without him because that movie is him. Like, nobody else is gonna climb the Burj Khalifa or, like, hang off of a fucking plane. Like, that's literally insane. Like, you could so easily make it super convincing doing CGI or having a stunt double. It's, like, totally unnecessary. Alright, so we just watched Mission Impossible 6. Frank, what'd you think?
I thought it wasn't as like slick as some of the ones from before, like number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
I think the actions were too big. But before they were like small actions that are like you kind of get glimpses of that in this movie where like in the bathroom kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, you know, really slick and smart.
Yeah.
But like quick, you know?
Yeah.
Like agile, like reflective and reflexive. This, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like a lot of powerlifting, but not enough like power matrix. I think like, you know.
Interesting.
And then like because he's getting so big, you know, he doesn't have that agility or like the bounciness when he wasn't as big. You know, like the whole franchise and Tom Cruise is like pretty getting older.
There's a juxtaposition here. You see this guy, he looks like he's trying to hide, blend in with the environment. This little camo going on. But then you look at the shirt, and he's like Waldo saying, "Look at me. What is going on?" He's running away.
What's going on?
We caught up to him.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? think I just threw up Tom Cruise's viscerals all over the floor, and his mind, the powder thing, must be his consciousness.